Hold on to your hats, folks, because this movie kicks off with a heart-stopping flashback. Andy and Vicky, beaming like proud peacocks, just tucked their adorable baby Charlie into bed. But wait, suddenly, bam, a fiery inferno erupts above the crib. Toys ablaze, total chaos. Andy's a hero, grabbing Charlie, but the flames, they're already on her. Cut to present day, Andy jolts awake from this nightmare, only to find little Charlie, wide awake, casually playing with a lighter. Turns out, she's been having nightmares of her own. And get this, she's worried about her pyrokinetic abilities. Poor kid. Dad rushes in with reassurances, mom joins the breakfast crew, and then, flashback again. We see Andy and Vicky, unwitting guinea pigs, in a clinical trial, getting injected with some experimental wonder drug called Lot 6. Buckle up, Buttercup, this is going to be a wild ride. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to dive into a wild ride. Researchers are intensely watching test subjects, some with, shall we say, explosive results. Meanwhile, our boy Andy, a psychologist with a seriously freaky new talent, mind control, he calls it the push. He helps a smoker kick the habit, but at a bloody price, literally. Poor Andy's eyes are paying the price for his awesome powers. Over at school, Charlie's facing the schoolyard bullies. But her kind teacher, Miss Gardner, is a total lifesaver. Except, Charlie's never heard of Google. Cue the snickers. Ouch. Home we go where Vicky finds Charlie in tears. But Vicky's got her back, reminding Charlie she's one of a kind, amazing, even. Charlie spills the beans, revealing her desperate need for Wi-Fi to keep up, only to discover their family budget's tighter than a drum. So, Vicky's already fretting about affording caviar and champagne for Charlie, because, normal childhood. Then, Andy's dodging the, teach your daughter to control her superpowers, talk like a seasoned politician. Dodgeball, more like super-powered dodgeball, because Gavin's got some serious aiming skills, or serious spite. Next thing you know, Charlie's bathroom break turns into a demolition derby. Stall door, bye-bye. Principal's got a new office decoration, courtesy of Charlie's awesome, albeit slightly destructive, powers. And Andy and Vicky, they're trying to convince the principal that their daughter's superpowers aren't a regular occurrence, wish them luck. Home life, more like home warfare. Andy and Vicky are at each other's throats, a disagreement over little Charlie's superpowered shenanigans. Vicky's all, control your awesome abilities, kiddo, while Andy's a walking, talking cautionary tale of superpower-induced ouchies. Then bam, Charlie bursts in, all innocent questions and heavy hearts. Turns out, a shadowy organization wants our trio for their amazing abilities, and running's the only option. Poor Charlie's world implodes, self-proclaimed monster, blaming her gifts for all the chaos. Cue dramatic power surge. Vicky's arms are suddenly toasty. Charlie's about to dial 911 when Andy screams, "No!" Because calling the fire department might just light a fuse under their pursuers. They're in deep, folks, hiding out in some secret government bunker with Captain Jane. The head of Psi Intel is practically glued to her thermal monitor, eyes wide with grim determination as Charlie's latest meltdown throws off some serious heat. She calls in John Rainbird, a guy with a past as dark as his trench coat, to snatch Charlie before she melts the planet. Meanwhile, poor Andy's patching up Vicky's scorched arms while she yelps like a banshee. Shoulda used the push, Vicky hisses, but Andy confesses he chickened out, couldn't risk hurting the fiery little terror. Ice cream, Vicky suggests, a surefire cure for superpowered tantrums. But wait, while they're gone, Vicky's getting seriously creeped out. The house feels off. Seriously wrong. Then, bam, a cop shows up, all suspicion and side-eye. Vicky stammers about a minor accident, but the office is not buying it. Vicky breathes a sigh of relief as the cop finally leaves, locking the door behind her, heart pounding. The door creaks. Rainbird's in. This guy's huge, a shadow in the gloom, all menacing calm. He wants Charlie, but Vicky, fiercely loyal Mama Bear, isn't spilling the beans. Suddenly, bam, telekinetic powers unleashed. Vicky's fighting back, but Rainbird? He's like a telekinetic ninja, countering every move, a total badass. Then, just as things get really intense, Andy and Charlie waltz in. Charlie's drowning in guilt, but Andy's got the reassuring hugs ready. He goes to check on Vicky, and whoa, The bedroom doors ajar. Red alert. Back to the living room, and there's Rainbird, knife at Charlie's throat. Andy's powers go full throttle, eyes bleeding, a desperate push. But Rainbird, unfazed. This is not going well. Hold on to your hats, folks, because things are about to get explosive. Just when all hope's gone poof, Charlie taps into some seriously awesome, fear-fueled power. Boom! A concussive blast of flames, house goes whoosh. Rainbird's reeling, Charlie's free. Talk about a fiery escape. But the celebration's short-lived. Tragedy strikes, Vicky's gone, their home's toast, and they're making a hasty retreat in a cloud of smoke and grief. Next day, poor Andy's catching his breath while Charlie's practicing her newfound pyrotechnics. She tries befriending a cat, bad move. One tiny scratch later, and poof goes the kitty. Oops. Andy's there for comfort, assuring her she's not a monster, bless him. Meanwhile, Captain Hollister's on the hunt, tracking down Charlie with the help of a certain Dr. Vlas, who's apparently enjoying a very comfy retirement. And the chase is on. Charlie's unlocking superpowers, but Dr. Joseph's freaking out. This girl's a ticking time bomb. Hollister's torn between ambition and a potential apocalypse. Meanwhile, a kitty funeral, so sad, but Andy and Charlie bond over their loss. Sneaking around, ditching their car, smart move. Then, bam, a ride with IRV. A pit stop at his place, and, oh boy, Charlie meets Irv's bedridden wife, Essie. Cue the dramatic tension. Irv's suspicious, but Andy smooth talks him out of it. Phew. Whoa, Irv's totally blowing up, then apologizes, big time. Turns out, under the quiet roof, Andy spills the beans about Charlie's past, revealing some seriously intense, lethal protective measures. Talk about a dad who's got her back, even if it's a little too far sometimes. Next morning, boom, Irv's glued to the TV, seeing Andy painted as a killer. A huge fight erupts, but Andy's desperation is palpable. Then, bam, Charlie drops a mind-blowing revelation. She telepathically talked to Essie, and Essie forgave him. This changes everything. Irv's guilt's eating him alive, and when the cops show up, well, let's just say Irv's about to make a huge decision. Hold on to your hats, folks, because things are about to get wild. Shield, Andy, and Charlie, what could go wrong? Well, everything. IRV chats with the cops, bam. Rainbird pops out of the bushes like a jack-in-the-box, shooting a cop and crippling IRV. Pure pandemonium. Andy, the brave dad, tells Charlie, run, kid, run. He then single-handedly holds off Rainbird, using all his awesome skills. Charlie escapes, narrowly dodging bullets. But the fun doesn't stop there. Hollister's goons grab Andy and Rainbird, hauling them off to the DSI facility. Hollister tries to squeeze Andy for Charlie's location, but Andy's tougher than a $2 steak. He's not spilling any beans. Meanwhile, Charlie's honing her fiery skills when, surprise, Dad's voice pops into her head. DSI facility, time for a rescue, and she's got a plan, using some unsuspecting local bullies. Whoa, she gifts her dad a bike and some threads, all while subtly using her superpowers, sneaky, right? Then, bam, she confronts a DSI goon, snatches his keycard, and, whoosh, incinerates him with a fiery burst. Talk about a power move. She descends a huge staircase, all dramatic-like, to find her dad, or so she thinks. It's a total mind blow. Rainbird, that slimy weasel, manipulated her. A betrayal. Heartbreak City. And there's Hollister, all smug, thinking she's got Charlie trapped. But Andy's there, a prisoner, eyes locked on his daughter, knowing this is a do-or-die moment. To save her, he unleashed everything. One last push, Charlie. Burn it all down, starting with him. Tears? Yeah, Charlie's crying, but her rage? That's a wildfire. The whole place is going up in flames, a fiery inferno fueled by grief and righteous fury. She's a human blowtorch, incinerating everything in her path. But wait, suited guys, flame-proof. Just as they're about to grab her. Bam! Rainbird, the unexpected hero, blasting them away. He's down on his knees, begging for mercy. Charlie, staring at her own reflection, vengeance or mercy? A monster or a survivor? She chooses mercy. The facility? Gone. Reduced to ash. The horrors within? History. Our girl's on a beach now, peace at last, as Rainbird carries her away. The end.